Hey guys, hope you all enjoyed the handstands last week. This week we're going to take it back to basics and we're going to work on some of our fundamental shapes. Fundamental means they're important in every part of gymnastics. There isn't a gymnastics move that you'll find that hasn't got one of these shapes in it. So we're going to start off nice and easy. All I want you to do, guys, is find yourself a space. So I've just got a little bit of room around me, and either grab a towel or a broomstick. You only need these for the first couple of moves, guys, and then you can pop them away. Okay, so the first thing we're going to work on today is our stretch shape. Now, we use this in our jumps, we use this in our rolls, we use this in our handstands. We use it in almost every bit of gymnastics, so it's a really, really important shape to get right. So, first thing I want you to do is come and grab either your towel or your broom. I'm going to use the broom. And I want you to stand with your feet together, make sure your legs are touching, and you're going to make yourself as tall as you can. And all you're going to do is hold the broom out in front of you, and you're going to raise it up towards the ceiling. Squeeze your arms up nice and tall so you're hiding the gap between your ears and your arms, and you're going to hold. Hold that for 10 seconds, then relax, and repeat. So squeeze those arms up, hide those ears, make yourself nice and tall. So you just want to focus on keeping a nice straight body all the way up and all the way down. Now, to test that your body is nice and straight, find yourself a piece of wall, stand with your feet right the way against the wall, squeeze everything into the wall, squeeze those arms up nice and tall, and make sure every part of your body is touching the wall. So we should be squeezing as tight as we can and making sure that our right the way from our feet all the way up to our arms is nice and straight. Okay, so that's the stretch shape, guys. Nice easy one to start off, like I said. Now, most of you will have done these next couple of shapes, but we're going to really focus on the important parts of these, and we're going to show you how to make them trickier and how to make them easy. So, next shape, tuck shape. So, you're going to come and sit down on your bottom, arms out in front of you, and you're going to bend your knees into your tummy and squeeze them up. Okay, so your feet should be touching, knees should be touching, arms out nice and long, hold it there. Tuck shape. Just so you can see from the front, guys, arms out long, tuck those knees in, hold it there. Now, when we're doing this, guys, we need to make sure that our back is nice and straight and our knees are bending in and our arms stay out nice and long. We can hug our knees if we want, but to make it look really nice, make sure those arms are out long. Okay, next shape, pike shape. Okay, so legs together, arms out long, keeping that back nice and straight, keeping yourself up tall, nice pointy toes. Hold it there. Easy peasy. From the side so you can see, guys. So we want a nice straight back, setting ourselves up tall, legs squeezing together, point those toes, arms out long, and hold. Okay, now straddle shape. You've all done these ones before, guys, so you should find this nice and easy. So point those toes, open your legs nice and wide, arms out to the side, head up tall, nice straight back. Hold it there. Now when you're doing your straddle, guys, there shouldn't be gaps underneath your knees. I shouldn't see bendy legs like this. Make sure everything is squeezing into the ground and those toes are pointed. Okay? Keep that back nice and straight, arms out nice and long, hold it there, and out you come. Okay? Now, to make these a little bit harder, guys, you can either get somebody in the house to help you by shouting out names of the shapes, and you've got to show them as quickly as you can. So if I was to shout tuck, you don't have to bend your knees, go as fast as you can. If I shouted straddle, you'd have to go out nice and wide. If I shouted pike, legs together. Or something you can do by yourself, guys, okay, is you're going to go into your tuck shape, arms out nice and long, and try and balance on your bottom, and then just practice changing between the shapes. So pike, straddle, pike, tuck, pike, straddle, tuck, pike, straddle, tuck. Or you can even do tuck, straddle, pike, tuck. Change it up, try and balance on your bottom. It's going to really work those tummy muscles, which is going to come in handy for later on. Okay, now something you can also do, guys, in these shapes is rocking. So if you go into your tuck shape, hold your knees or arms out in front to make it look nice. Practice falling backwards, staying in your tuck shape, and see if you can sit back up. Now it's important with this one not to use your hands. We don't want to fall over and then climb back up. We want to think about sitting our shoulders up nice and tall, so falling back, sitting our shoulders up, falling back in a pike, sitting our shoulders up, falling back in a straddle, and sitting our shoulders up tall. Okay, so some rocking movements you can do in each of those shapes. Now, next shape, star shape. So stand yourself back up, find yourself your space, stand with your feet together. Now, when we do star shapes, guys, we do this for our star jumps, and we do this for our cartwheels. We need to make sure that our legs and our arms move at the same time. So, we're going to start with one side. We're going to lift our legs and our arms out, open them wide. Then with the other side, lift them up and out, nice and wide. You just want to hold this star shape, so your arms are out wide and your legs are out wide, nice and straight. Now, if you lie back down on the floor, guys, in your space, you can practice your star jump movement. Okay, so I'll show you on the side first, then I'll show you face on. So, lie down on your back, start with your hands by your side, imagine your feet are on the floor. Okay, so imagine you've jumped up tall, you need to open and then close. Open and then close. We want to make sure that when our arms start to move, our legs move as well. So it should be everything moves out and everything moves in at the same time. With your star jump, guys, make sure you're keeping those legs straight, nice pointy toes, nice straight arms, nice pointy fingers. So we're going to go out and in. Just practice open and closed, open and closed, trying to keep that nice straight legs, nice straight arms. Okay, so nice easy shapes to start off with. Like I said, we're going to move on to the slightly harder shapes now. So we've got dish, arch, front support, side support and back support to do. Now, dish and arch are really important for when we work on bars, when we do handstands, when we do rolls, loads and loads of things, okay? But they're also quite tricky because we need a lot of strength in our midsection, on our tummy and on our back to make sure we can hold these shapes. So, a full dish shape, guys, looks just like this. Okay, but we're going to work up to that because that is a little bit trickier than it looks. Now, we've got 4 different levels of difficulty for this one. So, first one is called a dead bug. Now, a dead bug, guys, all I want you to do, bend your knees in into your tuck shape, lie down on your back. Lift your arms up in front of you, so they're pointing up to the ceiling, and you're just going to lift your knees up and hold. Now, you want to make sure you're keeping your back touching the floor. We shouldn't be arching like this. We need our back flat into the ground, arms up tall, pointing those toes up to the ceiling. If you find that nice and easy, guys, just try and make it a little bit longer, little bit longer, little bit longer, and hold. Okay, you want to work on holding this for about 10 seconds. You should start to feel your tummy muscles working by then. If you don't, make it longer and hold for 10, longer and hold for 10, making sure that there's no gaps in between your back and the floor. Squeeze yourself into the ground. Okay, so that is the dead bug. Next, we're going to work on a tucked dish shape. So we're going to go back into our tuck shape. See, these shapes are important. So back into our tuck shape, and we're just going to slowly lower ourselves down and lift our toes off. So our shoulders are off the floor, our feet are off the floor, and we're using our tummy muscles to hold ourselves nice and still, but we're a little bit longer than normal. We're going to hold it there for 10 seconds and come down. Okay, now the next shape is a short dish. So you can grab your towel or your broom, whichever one you've got. I'm going to use a towel for this one. And all I'm going to do is roll my towel up nice and small so that it's like a stick to hold on to. Okay, so I've rolled my towel up now and it should be nice and long like a sausage. Okay, now we're going to lie down, legs together, hold the towel out in front of you, and all I want you to do is lift your toes and legs off the ground so you're balanced on your bottom, put the towel onto your knees and look at your toes, and you're just going to hold it there nice and strong. You should really feel your tummy working for this one, guys. So challenge, try and stay there for 10 seconds. If you find it easy, stay there for longer. Now with this one, guys, I want to see who can hold it the longest. So time yourselves, see how you get on. Okay, now once you've done the short dish, guys, the final stage is the long dish, which I showed you at the start. So we're aiming to get to this position at the end. So from your short dish, you just want to reach your arms back, up to your ears, and looking forwards. Squeeze this tummy nice and tight, make sure there's no gaps, and hold it there. And out you come. Okay, nice and easy for that one, guys, so I hope you get on with those. If you're finding it tricky, start easy, work your way down. If you're finding it way too easy, guys, just try and hold it for longer, okay? The longer you hold it, the more your muscles will have to work to keep you in that shape. The most important thing with this one is making sure that there is no gaps between your back and the floor. Make sure you're nice and flat to the ground. Really squeeze those tummy muscles. Think about pulling your belly button into the ground so we're rounded in. Okay, now we're going to move on to the arch shape now. So an arch shape is the opposite of a dish. So you're going to lie down on your belly. Reach your arms out long and you've got to lift up, hide those ears, lift those toes off and hold. Okay, now same again with this one, guys. We're going to work up to that shape because it's harder than it looks. So we're going to start off with a nice easy one, which is called a skydiver. Okay, now I want you to imagine you've just jumped out of a plane, you're flying down, and you're going to fly through the sky with your legs bent and your arms up tall, and you're just going to rock side to side, practice holding those knees off the ground and legs off the ground. Okay, try and do that for 10 seconds and relax. If you find that nice and easy, guys, we're going to make ourselves a little bit longer and we're going to do some leg raises and some arm raises. So we're going to make ourselves nice and long in our straight shape that we practiced at the start. And to start off with, guys, we're just going to work on lifting our legs up behind us and lowering down. Lift them up behind us and lower them down. You should feel your back muscles and your bottom muscles working for this one. So lift up and lower down. Try and do 10 leg raises and then we're going to do 10 arm raises. So you're going to keep your feet into the ground on this one, arms out nice and long, lift up and lift down. Lift up and lift down. Up and down. And you should feel the top part of your back working really hard to lift yourself up. Now, if you're finding it a little bit too tricky with your arms out long, bend your arms, put your hands on the back of your head, lift up and down, up and down. You want to try and hold it for 1 second at the top and then lower down slowly so you don't bump your nose on the floor. Okay? Once you've got the hang of that, guys, we're going to try and do an arch hold. So squeeze your legs together, arms out long, lift your arms up to your ears, lift your legs off and hold. Try and hold it for 10 seconds and come down. Okay, same as with the dish, guys. We don't want any gaps between our tummy and the floor and we want to hold it for as long as we can. If 10 seconds is too easy, keep going for as long as you can, see how long you can carry on. Okay, now next shapes, we're going to work on our support shapes this time. So we're going to work on our front support, side support and back support. Now front support we use for press ups, we use for our vault, we use it for loads and loads of different things. Okay, and all of these shapes get used on the pommel horse, which we haven't done yet, but we will do in the future. Okay, now front support, just like a press up shape, hands on the floor, start on all fours, you just want to lift your knees up and hold yourself there. Okay, so from the side so you can see, start on all fours, knees on the ground, hands in front of you, make sure you've got a nice straight back, and you're going to lift your knees off, up onto your toes and hold it there. You want to make sure that your shoulders are above your hands, keep yourself nice and strong. Okay, same as we did with the dish and the arch, we're going to work up to that because that's a tricky position to hold. So, easiest, start on your knees, put your hands down, back nice and flat. All I want you to do is walk your hands forward slightly and lift your toes off. When you can hold yourself here with a nice straight back, nice straight tummy and shoulder above your hands, then we're going to move on. Okay, so practice holding that for 10 seconds, have a break and carry on. When you find it nice and easy, guys, move on to the next step. Now, the next step is going up into that full front support. Okay, so we're going to go into our hands and knees, nice straight back, and I just want you to try and lift your knees off, hold, and come down. Lift off, hold, and come down. Now we're going to build up to working on holding it for as long as we can. Challenge again, guys, hold it for as long as you can, see how you get on. Now, to make this one even harder, and to put more weight through our arms, we're going to put our feet up onto a surface. So I'm going to turn myself around, put my toes up onto the sofa. So I'm going to put my toes on the sofa, hands on the floor, making sure my legs are together and my back is nice and straight. I also want to make sure, guys, that my shoulder is above my hand and I'm looking straight down. I'm going to hold it there and come down. Okay, so again, with that one, hold it for as long as you can. If you can't do the 2 previous steps, guys, don't move on to that one just yet. Okay, next is the side support. So a side support, we're going to be up nice and tall on our arms, with our tummy pointing forwards, feet on top of each other, and we're going to hold. Okay, with this one again, guys, we're going to work up to it. You want to make sure that you practice on both sides. So don't just do it on your left arm, do it on your right arm as well. Okay, so we're going to start down on our elbows. Elbow on the floor, legs out long, feet on top of each other. Make sure your shoulder is above your elbow and your fingers are pointing in front of you. And all you want to do, guys, is try and lift these hips up to the ceiling. So keep your feet on the ground, lift your hips off, hands on your hip, hold, and come down. Now, to make your muscles down the side of your body a little bit stronger, guys, you can do some side support dips. Now, a side support dip, go up into your side support shape on your elbow, lower down, touch the floor, and back up. Down, touch the floor, and back up. Try and do 5 of these on each side. So, onto your right arm, feet on top of each other, lift your hip off, lower down, and back up. Down, and back up. 5 times, guys. Okay. Now, once you've got the hang of that, guys, and you can hold yourself on your left arm and your right arm for more than 10 seconds, I want you to move on and try the full side support. So, you're going to go up onto your arm, make sure your fingers are pointing away from you, shoulder above your hands, legs out long, feet on top of each other. Hand can go on your side or up nice and tall. Looks better if it's up nice and tall, guys. Okay, now to make this one harder again, see if you can lift one leg off and hold it in a star shape and come down. Now you can try this on both sides. So hand down, fingers pointing away, shoulder above your hand, legs out long, arm up, lift and down, lift and down. Okay, so give that a go, guys. That one's pretty tricky. Next, guys, we're going to move on to our last shape of today, which is our back support. Now, with all of these shapes, they get used on the pommel horse, which is something that boys do, okay, but girls will get to have a go at this at some point as well. Now, back support, guys, is sitting on your bottom, legs in a pike shape, hands behind you, fingers pointing towards your toes, and you just want to lift your hips up and hold. Looking up towards the ceiling, squeeze it in, make sure those hips are up nice and tall, and we're keeping our body nice and strong all the way through. Okay, with this one, guys, a couple of different levels of difficulty, just like we did with the other shapes. First one, which is nice and easy, bend your knees into your tuck shape. Hands down behind your bottom, fingers pointing towards your toes, and I just want you to see if you can lift your tummy up and hold. If you can do that, guys, walk your feet out a little bit longer, lift up and hold. And you really want to focus on lifting those hips up as high as you can and holding it there. Now, the aim of this one, guys, is to get out so that our toes are pointed, our legs are nice and straight, and our hands are behind us, and we want to be able to go right the way up to holding it there. Okay, so back nice and straight, fingers pointing towards your toes, hold that shape there, squeeze your back muscles together, and look up at the ceiling. Okay, now, to make those back muscles stronger, the ones just behind your shoulders, what you can do is lie down with your legs in front of you, elbows on the floor so your back is lifted up, and all you're going to do, guys, is try and lift your hips up and squeeze your shoulders. Hips up and squeeze your shoulders. So it should look a little bit like this. So I showed you from behind, now this is what it looks like from the side. You won't see much of a movement, but the hips are going to lift up ever so slightly. So onto your elbows, hips up and down, hips up and down. And you want to try and lift up, hold for a second, and then lower down slowly. Now, with this one, guys, there's a little thing you can practice, which is moving between each of the shapes. Okay, so we're going to move between our front support, side support, and our back support. Now, you need a fair bit of room for this one, so I'm going to bend my legs on this one, guys. But go into your front support first. Start in your front support, keep your head facing forward, and you're just going to slowly walk your feet to the side into your side support. Hold your side support, and then you're going to keep walking your feet round. Keep looking forwards, turn your tummy up to the ceiling. Hold your back support. Keep walking your feet round into your side support on the other side. And then all the way back to the start. So you should finish in that front support shape. You can practice going around both ways, guys, but remember we want to keep our head forwards. So we go to our side support, side support, and then all the way back round to the front. We shouldn't be twisting around in a circle on one arm. Okay, we should be swapping those hands over. Right, guys, good luck with this. I want to see those shapes. Have fun, and I will see you on Friday for fitness.